Hey horse lovers, welcome back to Free Spirit Equestrian. So today we have a lot to talk about, and I'm going to tell you what my decision is with Mr. Lumiere in terms of what the plan is for him. So if you watched one of our recent videos about Lumiere, you saw how we brought him back home from training. He's been super good, which makes me happy. But we're going to talk about the ultimate decision. So I have thought about this for months and months, and obviously he went to training and I was able to have some clarity, think about things from that perspective, and then he came home. So I had a few rides on him, was able to think even more about what the best decision would be. So what I've decided to do with Mr. Lumiere is to sell him. I do think that it is in his best interest, my best interest, and everything involved to go ahead and move him forward. So the reasons I want to do that is because I truly think that Lumiere needs to be in a home where he is the main focus or just one other horse, right? Like somebody might have two horses, but not a whole herd and a whole business where they're focusing on multiple different horses in a herd dynamic setting, like students and, clients and different participants when it comes to equine activity. So I think that he is just the type of horse that needs that. He's not a one-person horse, but he definitely does better when he's familiar with that person, and he needs to have a competent rider. I'm not saying you have to be the best person in the world to ride him, but in order to own him, I truly think he needs somebody who understands him with his own experience. I don't think it's beneficial for him to have riders who even are great, but just don't ride him on a regular basis, right? He needs a consistent rider and somebody who understands him fully. And it's not that I can't give that to him, it's just that my goal was for him to be able to fit into my program in some way, shape, or form. I'm not even saying like a regular lesson horse, like obviously that wasn't the goal, but just like, hey, like can somebody ride him in a lesson occasionally or do a trail ride or even go to a show or something like that? And to be just straightforward, I just don't feel comfortable with that being an option, okay? He just requires more understanding, and anybody who's ridden Lumiere or knows Lumiere completely gets that, okay? So Jackson's full opinion was he thinks it's best to rehome him. I can ride him, I have fun with him, but I don't want to have a horse that I'm the only one riding because I've already committed to other horses. And if I would have known when I went to purchase him, if I would have known his whole history, if that would have been disclosed to me, honestly, I would have never even went to look at him. And I'm not saying this to be like mean or anything. I literally love Lumiere. And honestly, I feel so good about everything. I feel good that he came here. He's emotionally sound. He's had a lot of experiences with me, with Jackson. He is a better horse. And that is our mission at Free Spirit Equestrian. And Lumiere is a perfect example of that. He is magnificent, phenomenal, and he is a good horse. It's just not the right fit for him, okay? And it's not the right fit for me. So the best thing to do is to find him a perfect home where he is the end all be all and he will get everything that he deserves. And he has received that here. But I can't continue to do that for him long term, given the situation. And like I said, I feel comfortable on him. I feel comfortable around him. But for what I do, having students around and all of the things, I just don't 100% trust that. Okay? So that is what we're going to do. And we actually have a plan. So this is actually really interesting and kind of cool. And I cannot wait to tell you how we're going to go about finding Lumiere a fantastic home. This is super exciting. So the trainer who told me everything about Lumiere, and she knows him in and out, she has a best friend who also has known Lumiere since he was, I think, a yearling or a 2-year-old. So she knows his entire history and she's up to date on everything. Now, want to hear the cool part? So she specializes in selling gypsy vanners or horses of that sort. And honestly, she is like the coolest person I've ever seen. Like she jumps hot rods, like she rides tandem. She has gorgeous big dresses she rides the horses in. She does pack trips with the horses. Like she is just so freaking cool. And she is extremely, extremely familiar with the breed. She specializes in selling horses like Lumiere and gypsies and horses of this caliber. So I'm so excited the fact that she knows everything about him. He is going to be going to Carla June and she is going to help me find him a fantastic home. Now, a lot of you might be like, well, why would you not sell him here? Like, why would you not do that? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Like number one, I have had issues selling horses unless they sell to a student or a mutual because of the social media. Even if I charge a decent lesson fee, people still just want to come see the horses and they say they're interested and whatever, but they're not actually. Like they just want to come out to the farm and they don't mind paying that decent lesson fee. So that's one issue. Number two, Lumiere is a very different horse. I don't honestly have the time to deal with tire kickers and people like that. and Michigan is a little more accessible. So where he's going is actually in Wyoming. Okay, so somebody has to be pretty dang serious if they're going to be looking and trying out a horse. Okay, and she has a clientele base that can afford and look at and actually be a good fit for horses like Lumiere, because her clientele is looking for gypsy vanners and they're educated in that. I do so many things like on my own and by myself that honestly, I think now, and I've been doing this, if I'm gonna go sell a horse, I'm gonna find somebody to sell them for me, because I don't enjoy doing it, number one. Like, I literally hate the selling process. And number two, just like the whole social media thing. So I just feel very, very comfortable with this whole situation. So he's gonna be going out to Wyoming. She is gonna take him on some trail rides, like up in the mountains, so he'll get a little more experience. And then once she understands him and gets him settled in, she will start marketing him to the appropriate person. The kind of home I see him in is, like I said, somebody who has 1 or 2 horses, a very competent rider. I think he could go multiple different, disciplines, directions that way. But I want him to be somebody's end all be all. To me, he truly is that type. And I think that he can find somebody who just wants to continue putting the time into him. He's way better. He's so much more improved. Now it is his time to shine in all of his luster. It is time for him to take the next step. And honestly, I've never felt better about anything. Like, I'm not even upset about it anymore, because I've already thought about it so emotionally that the logic and emotion combined has now settled. And I know that this is the best option for him, for everybody. And everybody is very, very supportive of this decision. The people who truly know Lumiere. Yeah, he's a good boy. And the fact that I had such good rides on him when he was here, you would think that would change things, but actually it made me feel even better about this decision. I just feel so good. Like, we did this horse justice. It didn't work out the way we thought it would. And that's just a good lesson in the horse world. Things are not always going to go the way you think. It's not a fantasy land. And I'm just excited. I'm excited all the way around. So Wyoming is a big trip. I do have a professional hauler that's going to come pick him up. And I'm actually going to plan on going out and visiting him sometime this month or possibly in July. So I want to go and check up on him. And Carla is extremely reputable. I mean, she is just the coolest person. She's beautiful. She's talented. She has a great facility, and she just has something different, like a different touch from Jackson and I. So this will just be like the sprinkles and cherry on top of Lumiere's journey at Free Spirit Equestrian. Now, I will still have full say in who he goes to, and I will be able to say yay or nay when it gets really serious about a buyer. He is not just going to go to anybody. I'm very, very particular about that. He absolutely cannot go to a flipper. I want to let you know that I have been offered like cash on the spot for him, okay? But it's been from people who want to resell because they look at him and they see money. I do not care about that. But he does need to go to somebody who values him, and his price will be reflecting that. But all of the marketing and nitty gritty will be through Carla, and I will basically just have the final say. And yeah, today we're just gonna have, our little last hurrah. So he will be leaving pretty soon here in the next couple of days, and I will show that process and everything. And you'll get to see that in this video. And then of course, when I do go to visit, I'm hoping I can get out there. When I do go to visit, I will definitely be filming that too. So yeah. All right, that was a really good last ride on Lumi. Proud of him. You did so good. You good boy. You were a good boy. Yeah, I think that was great. So, I know you saw the title that said I made a decision about Lumiere, but then it said, and another one. So I'm sure you guys are wondering what exactly that is, because it actually doesn't really have anything to do with Lumiere, but does have something to do with another horse. So let me tell you. Okay, so you all know that Lumiere is leaving, and we are going to find him a new home. and the other decision is Mushu is going with him. So actually, I think this is literally perfect. I mean, normally I'm like so sad and emotional, but I already processed all of this. Now I'm just happy and excited for both of them, because I thought to myself, you all know that I listed Mushu over, I think, in the fall, and I took him off the market for winter, and I planned on listing him again in the late spring or early summer. But then I thought to myself, like, after I kind of evaluated and decided to send Lumiere, I was like, wait a minute, why in the world would I just list Mushu here when he's also a Gypsy Banner, and him and Lumiere are like besties, and then they can go together and she can market them both. Now, this was a huge decision for me because it was just really hard, right? Like letting two horses go, and they're both so like magical and beautiful. And Mushu, you know, I started him from the ground up. He's been here for almost 3 years now, and truly, I just think it's his time. So many people have been like, Mushu's a keeper, I think you should keep him. That has never been my intention with Mushu. When I bought him, he wasn't started under saddle, so I had no idea how he'd end up being, and he's really awesome. However, I already have forever horses. Like I have Jiminy, I have Bagheera, I recognize they're older. I also have Ezzy and Ariel that are gonna be here for years, if not forever. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, plus Belle. And Mushu is so special. He's wonderful in the program, but he is destined for greater things. Like I did a lot with him, you know, our Liberty, all the things he's done, drill team, like shows, we've been on some trails. Like he's just had so many awesome experiences here. And now I feel like it's his time to shine as well. Plus I feel them trailering together. They'll be pastured together in Wyoming, will be amazing. And also Mushu will get a few more trail miles like out in the mountains. And I think that's just a perfect situation. I know you guys might be sad because this is just a big shock, like it's happening so soon and so sudden, but at the same time it really isn't, because I've thought about this for a long time, especially with Lumi, and now Mushu, you all know that he was listed. So I figured, you know, Carla is going to be the best person to market these horses because this is exactly what she does. They're niche horses, they're amazing, and I think if I was going to send them to anybody to sell, it's going to be her. And I think she can do a better job at this than even myself personally. We're going to do one last ride on Mushu here. And yeah, they're going to be taking off here soon. And I know a lot of you say he's so bonded to you, and he is. But at the same time, like Mushu's personality is just a puppy dog, right? Like whoever his person is that he finds, and whoever has him is so lucky. They're going to just absolutely adore him, because there is no other horse like Mushu out there. None. Zip, zero. So I think that's just going to be fantastic, and I feel really good about it. You're such a good boy. Yeah, he's super cool, but it's time for the next step, and this is our whole point and our mission. And, you know, I explain that a lot on my channel, but people just get very attached. They don't understand all the ins and outs of what I do. And yeah, that's why I'm here with a YouTube channel, to show that and explain that. So yeah, let's do one last hurrah. Ready? I know. You're such a good boy, aren't you? The mustache. The Mushu mustache. But yeah, it'll be so honestly weird not having Mushu and Lumi here. They need to go to that next home that's going to take them to the next level, right? But Mushu's one of a kind, the most special boy. He is absolutely going to be somebody's heart horse. I mean, I could just imagine him with like a kid that can actually ride, like that just adores him because he's the cutest thing, or an adult that just, you know, wants like a little clown for a horse, doing Liberty, trail rides. Like he can do anything. Good boy. Good boy. All right, so last ride on Mushi. It's sad. Crazy when you've trained a horse and then they're gonna go to the next home, but he's a really cool horse. Yes, you are so goofy. One of a kind for sure.
Definitely.
All right, buddy. Good job, Mushi. Good job. You are a good boy. Yeah, he's way more confident, which is good. All right, horse lovers. I'm sorry, my neighbor is weed whacking over there, so it might be a little loud. If you can hear that in the background, I apologize. But anyways, Mushu and Lumiere are leaving in an hour and a half. So one of my students is gonna come and help. We're gonna get them all ready to go. We're gonna clean them up, braid them, and get them ready for this adventure. So they are going to Wyoming. Hi, Lumi. They're gonna have a couple layovers and everything. They have an excellent hauler, so no need to worry about any of that. Food, water, the whole trip, cameras, the whole 9 yards. You're a mess, sir. Are you a mess? So yeah, we're gonna get them groomed, ready to go. Honestly, I'm just feeling like super emotional about it. It feels so surreal, but it's actually happening. But at the same time, I'm extremely happy with my decision, but just sad that, you know, they're gonna be leaving. So I don't know. I mean, I've just had Mushu for almost 3 years. I've started him from the ground up. I've dumped so much of my time, money, energy, and soul into him. And obviously Lumiere too. And he is just so much better than when he first came here to Free Spirit Equestrian. All right, Mushu, Lumi. Come here. Come on, guys. You want to undo this real quick? Come on. We got to get all pretty. All right, we're taking them up to the hitching post right now. What do you think, Loom? Groom them good. So we'll like groom their bodies, brush out their mane, scales, and feathers really good. And then I got like this spray you can use and stuff. We have to get Mushu and Lumiere looking good before they load up on the trailer, and I'm just looking forward to spending this quality time with them before they do go. I just can't believe it's actually happening. It's totally crazy, but both of them were such good boys for their grooming session, and I'm just happy we were able to do it. Amish spray.
Where'd we get that?
Amish country.
She bought a bunch. Smells really good.
It really does. Good job, Lumi. Hi, Naveen. Good job. Good job, Lumi. Good job, baby. Good job.
I bet on their trail, the first stop after on the long trailer ride, I bet they get off and roll.
I know, right? Well, it's A for effort here. Good boy.
That's a lot of hair.
I know. Crazy.
Look at that. That's more hair than I have on my head on one foot.
Good boy, Lumi. Oh my gosh, Mushu looks so good. Look at his little bands. Good boy. Lumi is looking amazing. All brushed out. We're finishing up braiding.
Slow at this. It's taking a while. I haven't done this. You and Natalie have been doing this for the last year.
Yeah, he looks really good.
I haven't done braids since we got him.
I know.
I'm not used to this.
Yeah, they're looking so cute. So they're leaving in an hour and 22 minutes. And yeah, so we'll put them in the stalls, let them eat and drink, and then they'll be headed out. Good boys. All right, Mushi's all done. He's gonna go in the stall. Lumiere's almost done. He has one last braid. Moosh, you're adorable. All right, Loom, you're almost done. Good boy. What?
Tell him to rank my braid job on 1 to 10 in the comments. I didn't do the forelock. That was Shay. You can give that one a 2.
That one doesn't look good. You want some treats, cutie pie? Mushy, you want a treat?
Ooh, look at that mustache.
He's so short in the stall. Oh my god, I'm gonna miss him so freaking much. But he's so special, guys. Like, this is exactly why we do what we do. And somebody just, I mean, I freaking love and adore him, but he deserves that, like the next step. Both of them. All right, the hauler is here and we're gonna grab Moosh and Lumi. I'm gonna load them up. Yeah, no, we'll grab them both. You can grab Moosh, I'll grab Lumi. All right, babies. I'm gonna miss you guys so much, but I'm gonna go visit them. Like I said, I'm gonna do my best to get out and visit. Make it a goal. It's hard because it is far, right? And flights are kind of interesting, but we will do it. You guys look absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Lumi, you good boy. You sweet baby. Mushu. Mushu. I love you. Mushu. All right, horse lovers, Lumiere and Mushu did arrive to Wyoming safely. So I'm really happy. Shipping went very well. Everything is good and they are settling in Wyoming at their new place. So that's awesome. And I talked to Carla for like an hour and a half on the phone. We went over so many things and I just feel so good about it. And I actually want to show you a couple clips of them in their new pasture. It looks amazing. Just a few things that I want to talk about. I know all of you say, hey, you do not have to explain yourself like with what you do and your business, but I like to. I feel the need to do so because I want people to just understand, okay? So that's exactly what we're gonna do. First off, Lumiere was not an impulse buy and he was not purchased just because of his appearance. Like, yes, I absolutely love horses that look like him, which is obviously like very rare because he's one of a kind. But of course, like that was my like dream fantasy look horse, okay? Truly. But that is not the only reason why I purchased him. So I talked to his owner for a long time. Like I think it was like a period of 2 weeks. I asked her a ton of questions. Like we went back and forth. I thought a lot about it before I even scheduled a visit to go and try him. So he was not purchased on a whim. Horses that are purchased on a whim are Belle, Tiana, Beauty. So if you're gonna say, he was an impulse buy. Nope, Tiana and Beauty were impulse buys. Okay, so he definitely was not. I also want to say that information that I asked specifically about herd situations, if he had ever done anything breeding related, all those different things that we've discussed previously were not disclosed to me. They weren't disclosed. If I would have known when I asked those questions, if they were answered correctly, I would not even have went to look at him. I would not even have scheduled a visit to try him because I knew that would not be a good fit for my setup and current situation. If it would have been and I would have had the entire picture of him, I just knew that my setup wouldn't have been ideal. So that's part of it as well. I also want people to understand that when Lumiere came to me, he was a little bit of a wreck and he did not have a great life before. He did not have consistent work. He basically was by himself the entire time, except for being thrown out with mares at one point. And he didn't really have like a great life. And I know that he was a stallion, so obviously you can't just like throw him out wherever. But truly, Lumiere, he just didn't have it great. Okay, so when he did come to FSC, he finally got to be out with horses. He got all of the care he needed that went with his specific needs. He got consistency. I was extremely consistent with Lumiere, 5 to 6 days a week the entire time I had him. I didn't just get him and be like, oh, I don't have time. I can't meet his needs that way. I worked with him consistently and I worked my freaking butt off, blood, sweat, and tears. That horse is truly 1,000% better than when he first stepped hoof into FSC. And Jackson just helps that whole situation too, right? Like, which we've talked about. But Lumiere is way better emotionally, physically, mentally, all the way around, which completely ties into our mission at Free Spirit Equestrian. So I want people to understand, I thought I was purchasing a horse that just needed some miles. I had no idea what I was getting into. It was way more complex than that. But you know what? I'm so glad that everything worked out the way it did, because to have the opportunity to work with Lumi, to own Lumi, and I still own Lumi. I still own Lumi and Mushu. We're gonna do what's best for them. It's just incredible. I feel so blessed that this horse has now had the opportunity to become a better version of himself and to shine in all of his luster. And I truly believe with the right person, the right setup, which I do not have. I am being honest with myself and with Lumi. It's not that I can't handle Lumi. It's not that I don't love Lumi. It's that I don't have the right program for Lumiere. Okay, he can flourish with someone else. I think if he gets the right person, he can go and do all the things that I wanted to do with him. But I have students around, I have liability, I have safety, and I just don't have the right like pasture set up for what that horse needs. And I truly think he needs to be that one horse that somebody just dedicates their entire focus to. Consistent and completely focused on him and maybe one other horse. That's what he needs, and then he might do way beyond what I even think he's capable of. He might end up being completely bomb-proof one day, but I just know that he needs the next step in order to get to that level, and I think it's being unselfish of me to give him that opportunity. If I was selfish, I would just be like, whatever, I'll just keep him in this dry lot with just like Mushu or one other horse, and then I can just have him, and I'll just do what I can with him. No, he deserves more than that. He deserves it. So that's exactly what I'm doing for that horse. And I'm just so passionate about what I do. I'm so passionate about him. I care about him. And if anybody actually cares, if anybody literally actually cares truly about me, about Lumiere, about my mission, and about Mushu, because Mushu also is just absolutely fantastic. He's a star. He should be in Hollywood. Like, just kidding. But literally, those horses deserve that next step now. If you really care, then you will understand and actually be excited and appreciate why we're doing this, because it's our mission. That's all I preach about. The only difference is that I made the mistake of saying Lumi was a forever horse when I didn't know the whole story. I didn't know the whole version. I can't help that, but that was my intention. That was my truth. It's the next chapter in their journey. I know that I'm making the right choice. And to be honest, I don't even really care what people think. I'm just expressing myself so that people, might be able to understand, and I want to share my journey because it might help others too. And I think you just have to recognize like what's best for you, what's best for the horse, what's best for your whole herd, or your other animals if you have them. And Carla is such an amazing person. I'm actually very excited that her and I are developing, a relationship because of these horses. This is exactly what this girl does. She is way better at selling and marketing these type of horses than I could ever be. And she's a phenomenal trainer. So like I said, they're just gonna get a whole different experience. And worst case scenario, if for some reason Carla cannot find the right home for them, which by the way, I have full control of where they go still, like they are still my horses. I still own them. They are not sold yet. They come back. They come back here. Of course, that's not the intention because I just paid thousands of dollars to ship them out there, and I've invested a lot of time and money into them and my decision and what we're doing. But that's what happens. If it doesn't work, they come back. You know, that wouldn't be ideal because like I said, I want this next step for them, but that is the hope. And I don't know when they'll find a home. Like it could be in a month, it could be in 3 months, it could be in 6 months. You guys should definitely go check out her Facebook page and her horsemanship page. It is Carla June and it's KR Horsemanship, and she is just incredible. The pictures she posts, the videos, such a small world. The horse industry is all connected, and there is no better person out there that could do what Carla's gonna do for Lumiere and Mushu. So yeah, and the fact that they get to be together, like you can just see how excited I am about this because I just think this is so cool. I also just wanted to show you some throwback clips of the time I've spent with Lumiere. And I really just want to put it out there and say I did a ton of groundwork and bonding with him. We spent just a lot of time together. I put him in my training program where, you know, we did that groundwork, that strength building, that liberty, and worked our way up. So it's not like he's just sat around, okay? I've worked very hard on improving him. And, you know, judging from our first ride ever when I tried him versus, you know, how he is now, he is much improved. And it's hard because when you look at the videos, it's like, oh yeah, he looks great, he's cool, and he rides pretty decent, but it's just the day-to-day things that trigger him and his sensitivity. A lot of it is the herd dynamics. So he did mount a mare like through my gate and everything, and he went in with the mares when he was at training and didn't mind so much, but he did kind of act a little studdy here still when he came back. But it's not an issue if you have the right setup, right? Like if you're working with him, he doesn't really care. It's just as far as turnout, I just don't have that right setup for him. And I also have students going in and out, and he's a very dominant horse. So there's just a lot of different factors at play. But truly, he has blossomed into the most beautiful golden marshmallow horse. And I feel so good that if the right person comes along, I can release him and he will be their end all be all. And I think he will be able to do amazing things in the right program with the right herd and the right setup and setting. So really looking forward to this continued portion of his journey, and I can't wait to help him move along into that next step. I also want to add, when he was at training, he did struggle with any herd changes in the dynamic as well. So it's not like everything was fine and dandy there when it came to the herd. There was also, you know, his sensitivities, but I think if he's just in a different environment per se, I think that will completely change for him, because I'm going to have horses coming in for the program, new horses I'm working with, and all of those different aspects. And I'm going to have mares and geldings. So yeah, I just feel great about this, and I've really enjoyed my time with him. Also, horse lovers, if you want to get a Mushu and Lumiere souvenir, you can order the Bestie Body Scrub. It is lemongrass scent, and it is amazing and a great way you can support everything we do. Link in the comments and the description. All right, horse lovers, thank you so much for watching and tuning in to this episode with the decision that I decided to make for both Lumi and Mushu. I truly appreciate all of your support. 90% of you really understand what I do, and you get it, and you know why I make the decisions I do. And I just want to say thank you so much. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I'm just sharing my truth, my intention, and my mission. And I'm always going to do that and stay true to myself. I'm never going to do anything to please others. I'm going to do things because it makes sense for my horses. That's who I actually care about at the end of the day the most, is my horses, because I'm responsible for them. All right, horse lovers, I will keep you updated on Lumiere and Mushu. If you like FSC, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything Free Spirit Equestrian or any updates, and I'll see you next time. Bye.